Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome to a brand new map, brand new series to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. And what map is this, you might be asking? Well, this is Midtown USA by ccs101. Now, ccs101, if you have played Newbie Farm or maybe Churn Farm, then you're probably familiar with ccs101. I would like to just very briefly say a couple of things. First of all, I would like to thank both CCS101 as well as Eustace Pharmer for the privilege, I will say privilege, the opportunity to basically play this map, this series, start this series. This map, which again is Midtown USA, is not yet available, but its release is pretty much imminent. I mean, I think we are possibly down to the final days, maybe the final week or so before we would expect this map to be released and to be released to everyone. From what I understand, the release will be conducted through FSUK, perhaps other sites as well, but I think FSUK is going to be the primary location where you would be able to obtain this map. As soon as it has been released, then obviously you can expect to find a link to that, to the download on my mod spreadsheet. So stay tuned for that. Check that. Go to grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com. At the top of the page, you click the link for mods and add-on directory, and that will take you where you need to be. Now, I also want to basically say one thing, that if you are interested in this map, you guys kind of know that I don't really do map reviews and such as that. I leave it up to the people that are far better at doing this than I am. And one of my good friends, members of the Three Dudes Gaming Network, Farmer Klein, has done a map review of this map, as well as Eustace Pharmer has as well. And I'll put a link down below the video where you can find both of their videos on this farm. Now, Farmer Klein is doing a series on this farm, and I would just go so far as to say that, I did not seek out exactly, I'm not seeking to copy Farmer Klein in any shape, form, or fashion. Let me get out of the trees here. I suppose that, what is it that they say, that duplication or copy or whatever is the highest flattery or whatever. I've got to say a couple of reasons why I am attracted to this map. And what we're going to basically do here is we're going to get this guy, we're going to basically hire a worker and have him get this, start this field plowing here. So let me kind of get started here. We'll drop the plow and we'll get him going. We'll get kind of straightened out here just a little bit and go ahead and just hire a worker for that. And then we'll get out really quick and jog over here. And then we'll jog down the hill and get into this New Holland, and we're going to take him back to the main farm. And so if you're looking at this and you're going, gosh, this looks familiar, and no, I haven't seen Farmer Klein's videos and I haven't seen Eustace Pharmer's videos, but this kind of looks familiar, then you're not going crazy, especially if you played Farm Sim 15, or even if you played, I believe Farm Sim 13 was the first time. I think this came out as part of the expansion package for Farm Sim 13, that being Westbridge Hills, of course. And then, of course, it was a staple in Farm Sim 15, Westbridge Hills. And as I've shared with you all time and time again, and we are playing with a more realistic mod, so I need to kind of pay attention to what I'm doing here, because I certainly do not want to flip our New Holland tractor here on the very first game day in which we are playing this beautiful map. But as I have shared many times before, I got my start with Farm Sim 15, or with the Farm Sim franchise with Farm Sim 15. And I played for hours and hours and hours on the default Westbridge Hills with default equipment. And then sometime down the road, 3 months, 4 months, whatever, I sort of got introduced to mods, and one of the very first modded maps that I played for Farm Sim 15 was a version of Westbridge Hills that the beloved Stevie had done, and played probably twice as many hours on the Westbridge Hills map that he created than what I had basically played on the default Westbridge Hills, if any of that makes sense. And just absolutely fell in love with Westbridge Hills. So there's really a couple of reasons why I'm enjoying, or I'm excited about the opportunity to play this map. First of all, it is a remake of possibly my favorite map, Westbridge Hills. That's what got my start in Farm Sim and everything. And then also, of course, I am very thankful that I've been given the opportunity to play this map, because I enjoy sharing, sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, and whatnot. And so being able to help CCS 101 in spreading the word about this beautiful map, obviously is pretty cool. It's a great opportunity for me to be able to do this. So again, I'm very thankful to both CCS 101 as well as my dear friend Eustace Pharmer for essentially hooking me up with the map, sort of introducing me to CCS 101, and giving me this opportunity to again play this wonderful, wonderful map. So we're going to get right started here into the action. I will tell you that especially if you watch Farmer Klein series, and there's going to be some similarities, just because one of the things that I have decided to do is because I've implemented the more realistic mod, I am sticking with more of the default equipment, or DLC add-on equipment from Giants. So you're going to see a lot of that. You will see a few mods here and there. I've got a few that I just can't live without, and I just don't feel that it's worth playing the game without these fantastic mods. But there's not going to be very many. Obviously, I use a lot more mods on my other series than what I'm going to be doing on this one, and primarily it's because I'm wanting to try out the more realistic mod and give it a shot again. If you watch my channel back in the days of Lawfold, you know that I tried it back during the Lawfold series, and I kind of gave up on it. It was very much in beta at that particular point in time, and I sort of thought, well, it's really sort of hampering my gameplay. It's making things a little different than kind of what I'm used to, and so I gave up on it. And so anyway, we are going to try it again, because the more realistic mod has been released in the Giants mod hub, and it's available for everyone to enjoy. And so we're going to give that a go again, and obviously that's going to affect kind of our overall progress and everything, because it really does make everything a little bit more realistic. Funny how that works. So anyway, the other thing that I am sort of excited about, and really enjoying the opportunity of playing this map, and I want to draw your attention to the upper right hand corner, where you see the time of day. It's early spring. It's game day number 1. But look at those temperatures, folks. 75 degrees for the outside air temperature, 68 degrees for the soil temperature. Tell me the last time, especially if you play with Seasons or you watch my channels, tell me the last time you've ever seen game day 1, early spring, with a soil temperature that we can actually start working and putting seeds in the ground. Give up? I can't either. I can't think of a time either. CCS 101 built in the geo based on Midwest of the U.S. Obviously, this is Midtown USA map, so this could really be anywhere. It could be the rolling hills of East Texas. It could be Missouri. It could be pretty much anywhere. And so yeah, so the weather that he built into this map is more true to life, more realistic, to what we typically see here in the United States, typically what I grew up as a young boy living in the great state of Texas, and certainly a little more realistic to even what I see in Denver, because early spring, yeah, we may not have 75-degree temperatures. Our soil temperature probably won't be 68 degrees warm, but certainly in the summertime we have 85, 90, 95 degree temperatures without a problem at all. And so that's just fantastic. And that's one of the reasons, like I said, that I am looking forward to playing this map. Now, a couple of things. Let me just kind of set the stage here as to what we're doing right now. Obviously, I'm starting this series off in the first game day of spring. I have spent a little bit of time prepping a few fields. For example, this is field number 16, and pretty much this is pretty much the exact same layout of field number 16 from Westbridge Hills. He did change some things with this big field back here, but pretty much 16 is kind of the way that I remember it. It kind of set off to the side of the main farm area, and of course he's incorporated the animals. We've got both the cow and the sheep barns and pastures and everything at the main farm. Pigs are elsewhere. Pigs are actually down there, I believe, in front of us. Don't quote me on that. Not sure. We're not going to do pigs on this map, so don't worry about that. We don't necessarily need to know where they're located, at least not right now. So anyway, so the soil temperatures is what I'm really excited about, because here is our plan. And I've got to thank Farmer Klein for this tip, because again, I watched Farmer Klein's series on this. He's up to like 2 or 3 episodes, I believe. And I'm going to steal this plan from him. I'm going to admit that right off the bat. I'm going to copy this idea, copy this concept, but because our soil temperatures are so warm in the spring, more like what we would experience if we were really here in the U.S. farming, we're going to be able to put down wheat and potentially barley, and we're going to do a couple of fields of each of these. And if all goes well, we hope to be able to actually harvest these in the midsummer time frame, and we're playing with 9 game days per season. Again, that's 9 game days per season. We hope to be able to harvest those in the midsummer time frame if we can get the wheat off the fields, get the straw off the fields, because obviously that will be something that we would want to do. We should be able to turn those fields back around and plant soybeans on those fields that we can harvest later in the fall. Hopefully that will all work out that way. We will find out obviously together if that is going to be possible, but we think that it will be, and fingers crossed that it certainly will be. So let me kind of talk a little bit about our game plan for this series. We are playing with, let me just bring up the map here. We own fields 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, which we're kind of saying that is leased to the BGA. If time permits, we might play around with the BGA just a little bit on this map, but no guarantees. As I've said before, folks, I really burnt myself out, I think, on the whole BGA concept in Farm Sim 15. So if we don't do anything with it, then obviously we can, we'll have that for maybe something else, or maybe we'll put grass there. I don't know. I'll make a decision in the next day or so about field number 14. We own field number 15, 16, 17, and of course 18 and 19 are grass fields down in the southern portion of the map. And so that's sort of our field plan. I like to kind of keep my fields sort of coordinated, co-located around the main farm area. For me personally, I think it makes sense. I think most farmers don't typically drive all over the place to get to their animals. You guys also know that I like having my animals centrally located to my farm. So with the sheep and the cows being on this map, on the main farm, it's an ideally suited map for me to play. and I'm really excited again about the opportunity to not only play this map before its release, but also be able to somewhat sort of serve as a preview agent for you, so you guys can see this, and hopefully between my videos, between the videos that Eustace Pharmer has made on this map, as well as Farmer Klein series, hopefully you guys can make a decision that you'll want to play this map as well. So that is sort of the game plan. I've got sort of a rough outline of the crops that we're going to plant. We're going to stick with wheat, barley, canola, corn, soybeans, which we'll obviously plant later in the season, and then of course sunflowers. So we're going to stick with those crops. We've got some sheep, we've got some cows, we've got them sort of, we've got enough hay and straw and grass and stuff that we're sort of pretending was left over from the previous year and everything, and so that's the game plan. So what is going on with my other two series, that being Snetterton Farm and Thornton Farm? Well, I will say nothing is happening with those series. Thornton Farm is going to be something that will continue to be played by myself and showcased on my channel in a rotation with MidtownUSA. Snetterton Farm, I've not given up on that, even though I'm finding the 24-day season thing to be quite grueling. I take my hat off to Farmer Klein, to Doug Zorley, to others who have successfully completed their 24 game day challenge. Yes, again, I'm finding it to be a bit of a struggle, but I am going to do my best to bring you that series in its entirety, or at least sort of the way that I've been bringing it to you, by bringing you on board every couple of game days and kind of showing you the major progress that we have made on that map. The reason why I've started this new series when I've started it is because Snetterton Farm, we're coming into the fall harvest. Thornton Farm, we're coming into the fall harvest. So what does that mean? That means that both of my Farm Sim 17 series will be about harvesting for a period of time. When I have been doing multiple series like this, at least two maps at a time, I have tried my best to keep them at opposite ends of each other on the season thing. So in other words, as we begin a new map, if we started in the spring, then my other series were sort of entering the fall, so that we're doing something a little bit different. Obviously, we've got to take care of our animals on an almost daily basis, and there's other things that we kind of have to do, but we can kind of keep the other things sort of at opposite sides of each other. So that was one of the reasons. I looked at the Platinum map, the South American map. First of all, I struggle at pronouncing the name of that farm. I'm sure I could overcome that. I could call up my buddy Eustace Pharmer and I could say, Eustace, teach me how to say this word, and he would do it very, very, very gladly and proudly. But I looked at it, and I even spent probably 3 or 4 hours setting things up kind of the Grizzly Bear Sims way, the way that I kind of like doing things, and I had a little bit of a storyline that I thought was going to work. And the more I thought about it, the more I sort of looked at that map, the more I, again, kind of thought about it and everything, other than the cows, which I really wish that Giants would release those Brahma cows as prefabs, so that map modders could start putting them into their map creations. I really wasn't that excited about it, I guess, at the end of the day. And so again, because I wanted to do something that could sort of break the consistency up with my two series, I've decided to introduce this series. So it's primarily going to be Thornton Farm and then MidtownUSA, but I'm still going to be doing the work on Snetterton Farm and then bringing you in every few game days for updates, and we'll do some harvesting and kind of that sort of stuff, because there's some similarities, I guess, between Snetterton Farm and MidTown in the sense that they're kind of American style maps and we're using relatively large equipment, but that's really about the brunt of it right there. So anyway, that's sort of the plan, and then I'm going to do my best, like I said, to try to keep up with that series, and that's really all I have to say about that, I guess. This map, I have decided to use, like I said, I'm going to stick with mostly default equipment and or DLC stuff. So I've decided that because I really only had the opportunity to use the Big Bud tractor and some of the Big Bud implements during when I was doing the Lone Star series, and we had the showcase day and everything, and we played around with the Big Bud stuff for a little bit, I decided that I would put the Big Bud on this map. Is this map ideal for the Big Bud? Well, I will say that obviously this map is more suited for the Big Bud than, let's say, Thornton Farm would be. That's a joke. But at the same time, I think that it works. We've got some pretty good sized fields. Obviously the field in front of us, field number 17, is pretty good size. Field number, even this field, I mean plowing this field with the Big Bud was like slicing through butter with a hot butter knife. Field number 11 is pretty good size. So it's going to work out. I think it's going to give me the opportunity to use that DLC, because after all, I paid for it. So I might as well get some enjoyment out of it. And then we'll see some things on here. We'll see some of the horse pack stuff. Like I'm going to use the self-propelled sprayer. That's one similarity between Farmer Klein and myself. I know that he's using that same sprayer. I don't think he's using the Big Bud. And also I've tried to stick with most of the default equipment that ccs101 added to the map. Like, for example, this entire setup right here is one of the items that you basically get as part of the map. So it's a combination here. So I'm sticking with that. And of course, I guess the main purpose for using a little bit more of the default equipment, and I think I covered this a few minutes ago, is because of the more realistic mod. Some of the modded equipment may not function correctly with the more realistic mod, but everything that is default to Giant and then other, like the DLC packs and stuff like those are as well. So we're essentially putting down wheat in this field number 16. And as I said before, I think field number 16 is pretty much spot on from the way it was on Westbridge Hills. I even think that the field in front of us now, I don't know what number that is right now, I think that's pretty close as well to how that actually looked on Farm Sim 15. And I just love the way that this map looks. I like the rolling hills. I really like that field up top there where we took the plow and we drove the seeder or the fertilize machine down from field number 12. I really like that field. I like that cell point right up there. That's all really cool. That I think he did change that cell point. That looks a little bit more industrial than kind of how it looked on Farm Sim 15. So he's made some really cool adjustments, and I will tell you that my very, very favorite thing about this map, and I don't know if I will show it to you in this episode, but if you go and you watch Farmer Klein's episode, you will see it there, and that is the train. The train, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is amazing on this map. One of my biggest complaints about trains on other maps, and even trains like on ATS and ETS2 as far as that goes, is the fact that they consist of a locomotive and a couple of rail cars, and that's it. Like 4 or 5 cars total, if that. Even on ATS, the trains that they have mimicked rolling through California, Nevada, and Arizona are usually 1 or 2 locomotives and then about 3 or 4 cars, and that's it. And we all know that freight trains are massive. I mean, the freight trains that come through Denver pulling coal out of Montana and some of those states, hauling them down towards Texas, those trains have usually 2 or 3 locomotives on the front. They have usually pushers in the back. Sometimes there's even a locomotive in the middle. So anyway, this train, ccs101, put the locomotives on this map are perfect. I think they're Chesapeake branded locomotives. They're quite long, so obviously you have to, that there's a give and take. You get the eye candy with the longer trains and stuff. He's even got like some John Deere combines and some other tractors on the train consist, and so it's very cool. It's other than the weather situation, the weather conditions, which I'm just absolutely excited about because we're getting to actually get to work on the very first game day of spring. It's the train. The train is the second thing that I am just very, very excited about, and I would trust me, we will go and take a look at the train at some point. If that's all we do is just drive to the tracks and I wait for the train and I edit the video where you guys can see it, I will show that to you. But if you're aching to see that before I get the opportunity to actually do that, then go to Farmer Klein's video and he will show you the train. So with this series, just like all the other series, I'm going to try to keep my episodes at around 30 minutes or so. Obviously, we've got a little bit larger fields than what we have certainly on Thornton Farm. So it's going to take a little while longer to do things on this map. I will work off camera, and maybe I would think that maybe we'll spend maybe 2 to 3 episodes per game day, perhaps. I may choose to speed things up just a little bit. Go at like a 5x time or 10x or a 15x time for a little bit. I'm not doing that right now just because I do have a fairly long list of things that I want to achieve in game day number 1, and obviously I've been working at it for a little bit beforehand, and so I'll make sure that I keep things fresh and keep things moving along. Don't know if I'll do a storyline or if I'll do role playing with this, other than just kind of simply what we're doing and how we're doing it and stuff like that. This might just be my series where I just talk to you guys about things that's going on in my life and things that's going on within the community, etc. So as we're approaching 30 minutes for this first video, for this this is going to be episode 1. I'm not going to do the episode 0 thing. This will be a full-fledged episode. I will just thank you all so much for watching, and I encourage you guys to go over, and it looks like I need to do a little bit of cleanup there with the with that there, or maybe I won't worry about it. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and also I will invite you to come over and check out the 3 Dudes Gaming Network as well as PCSG. If you have questions, about how to play the game Farm Sim 17, if you have questions about mods, if you have questions about modding, PCSG, 3 Dudes Gaming Network, those are the places that you will want to be. And we're going to try not to knock that sign down there in front of us. We will see if that will be possible, but who knows. Anyway, I thank you for watching this episode. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day. You're going to get, I think you'll get 3 episodes this week. This is the week of the 12th, and I'm actually recording this episode on the 12th of December. Hope you have your Christmas shopping done, and look at that. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the little porch, the courtyard or the rock porch, I believe that was put down by Eustace Pharmer. I'm not mistaken, I think he told me that he put something down and ccs101 kept that into the map. But anyway, great job doing that tile work there, Eustace. Keep up the good work there. Anyway, do take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Be good to each other, and come back again to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel for another video here, either on Midtown USA, Thornton Farm, or Snetterton Farm. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.